Hey everybody, here's a little bit of an update on my 2001 Corvette I've been working on. It looks like it's done, and it's very close to being done, but kind of wanted to do a little bit of update, because there might be a point of this thing where you don't see the inside. I haven't decided yet. The more and more I look at it, and the more I think about it, how high it sits in the front just is not right, and the only way to probably fix that is by gluing that down. So like the other Corvette, these decals are from Indicals. Very nice to work with, and that they did lay down very nice. This livery is the 2001 September 11th. I don't know what you would call it, but I would say tribute, but it's not really. But it's in honor of the fallen police and fire and all the men and women, because it happened right before this race. And so they did the paint scheme on this car with American flag going down it. And on the hood you have the New York Fire Department and the New York Police Department. And also on the right above the wheel, they do have the in memory of Dale Earnhardt, because that was his last year as well. He was in that crash. So this is the one that was driven by Scott Pruitt, Johnny O'Connell, and Ron Fellows. So it was a pretty good team. Indicals does have this decal scheme in the 3-car and in the 4-car. Everything is the same except for the end plates, the mirror, and the lights are black instead of yellow, and the number 4, of course. But everything else on the decals is fine. But the decals did lay down very well. I did use the Mark Set softener. I kind of use this as a guinea pig, so I also used the Microsol Micro Set. This is where you actually will use the Mark Setter, or on the Micro Set you put that down first, then you get your decal wet. That way it gives it a little bit of time to bond to your paint, and what it does is it adds a little bit of adhesion support to the decal. And as you can see, it is a creamy white, or at least this one. I think it worked pretty good. I kind of could tell that it had a little bit of adhesion on it, because it kind of made it a little bit harder to put it in place on the ones I did use it versus the ones I didn't. And once I got it in place real well, and I put a little bit of that Mark softener on it, and I made sure I didn't touch it, even though you sit there and you look at it and you want to touch it because it wrinkles up. You definitely do not want to touch it. It will start cracking. The one I did have problems with is the one on the hood. I did use the Microsol and Micro Set, and it did want to start not softening up evenly, and so it had like kinks or creases in it, and but I ended up getting it softened out. As you can see, some of the cracks, but not much of it. I did clear this with the Mr. Mark Clear, whatever the hell it's called. It's the same brand. A Creos Clear, a gloss. The paint smells like hell, and I bet you it's pretty toxic. It lays down a nice clear surface and goes down pretty smooth. You kind of can flood it a little bit to fill in any imperfections and wet sand it later. it did work pretty well with that. I did have some sanding marks that were around the front where you can tell it's pretty hard to sand, and that was able to fill that in and get it, because remember these two Corvettes, I did have them painted in a different yellow, had to strip them, then I ended up getting that Tamiya and painting it on them and going from there. So there was some imperfections, and then that Tamiya paint is so damn thin that it did not want to seem to fit down in it, but it ended up working out at the end. So let's see if we can get out of the glare so we can see the front end here. But there's the New York Fire Department and Police Department. They're paying honor to with the American flag. And then the cool thing about this kit is it does have the fog lights. So you have a lens on the right off on the body. And inside you have a piece with two lenses in there. I painted them with the amber, and they turned out really cool. That's one of my favorite features of this kit. I still have to paint the little grill area here and the turn signal. Shouldn't take too much time. I did paint all the little clips. Right there is the decal honoring Dale Earnhardt Sr. 2001 was his year of his fatal crash. On the back wing it says "United We Stand." So it was a very cool livery for a very sad time. Pop that off. And then this is what might not get seen again without the body on it. I do not know. It just does not seem like that body sits on this very well. Seems like there's some interference right there of the body, and then I kind of want to just glue it down. I do have one more of these kits that has a different year than these. It would be the, I think it's a C5. No, this is the C5. It's the C6. So it's the model after this. I would really like it. I think the kit has it where the doors open, and I think it would be really cool, but I don't want to overdo it where you can just have the hood come off, glue the body onto the chassis, and just have the hood pop off. But that might be a little complicated. Have the rear cover come off. But I do have the blue one of these. I think it is the C5. So maybe I'd do it with that. It is the Revell Germany kit. But inside I left it kind of basic. I did some gauge detail, but no gauges. This is the one where I didn't find the pedals until after the fact. But that's what happens. And then the engine is not completely detailed, because there's always the fear of doing all that detail work and not ever seeing it. So, but there is this build. It's not complete. I think for the final on this one, I think I will show all the Corvette kits I've done, because I finished the other ones right before I started YouTube, so there never was a video on those. So maybe I'll just do a video with all of them, and that would be the final in this one, because there is some details that I need to do still. Well, I hope you're having a great one, and hope you enjoyed this kit. Until next time, I'll talk to you then. Bye.